Alright, so these clips you will always break. Just try the rotted little nuts right here, and there are 4 of them to get the plastic. Basically you're all just undoing it from that one bar that's going underneath that is also the mounting point for the front mount. This is the bolt, and if you got it, the motor lifted up enough, just enough, you can pull these out with no tension, and then the bolt isn't locked in, right? So when you know you're doing it right when you undo these easily. So this is the one for the front mount, and I'm leaving the bushing attached to the bar that I'm going to pull out from underneath the front here. Right in the middle you go for your license plate, which I'll have to blur, and then you just go under here, and you'll see there's 2 of them here, and then there's 1 in the rear, and then it drops the whole thing, and it'll make my life a lot easier, and I'll get to show you a lot more too. So check her out. This is the mount. These are the 2 bolts for the front, 17. This, I replaced this bolt. It doesn't look exactly like this one, but it's a course, and it is a 19. 1 in the rear, 2 in the front. And like I said, you got to uncouple all of the plastic in this bolt first, because if you try to undo this, look at your access, right? You know, you're barely be able to get a socket on there, so just leave it there. And if you want to replace this thing, now's the time. This one's in decent enough a shape, and I shoved some extra guys in there, temporary. So eventually I'll replace it, but it's not bad at all. The rear one is the one I'm replacing now, one at a time, right? You know, but this one's really actually the easiest of all of them to replace. So could have just done this too, but hey, you live, you learn, right? So that's all out of my way, right? So now I should have better access up and in there, which is where the other bolt goes, which I can see. Hold on. See back there? Got the upper bolt out, and it's just got a lower one on the K-member, and it's just it was real good and tight on there, and you just got no place to get leverage on it. So we'll see how it looks underneath now, and if I can show you the leverage and point and how I get the next one off, and we'll see. If I can see that. That's her. Number 8. Man. Hooey! That is hard to see. So if you're thinking about where we are, we're underneath the driver's side, we're in the middle of the motor, we're underneath the transmission before like the transmission like kind of differential thing over here, which is where you see the drive axle, blah blah blah. So up and in this space here, above where the rear bolt of that is the other side of the nut I've been trying to get off in the back there. That's the back side, and the only thing, it is just so hard to get a good shot of this little bolt and this little dark void back here. But trust me, it is basically up and in this spot. If you think of where this bolt was, that was the bar that was in our way a moment ago. You're just going like up from it and towards the back, towards the K-member. And it is up there, and I can see it, and it is a shiny little guy. Oh, oh, oh. Catches little glimpses of it, but there it is right there. It's just hard to give you a good video of it. I'm going to undo that guy, see if I can give you a better shot when it's all out of there, and you can kind of understand where we are a little better. Alright, so before I go mad and literally dismantle my K-member and drop it down, because legitimately, I mean, I'm having a hell of a time figuring out getting out that lower bolt. There's just not enough space to get your tool up and in the space to get the thing out and have the space to back it out and have your tool there. So I'm like, well, shit. How do they put it in here? Well, they put it on the back of the motor, and then they put it in the car. Attached. Well, that may be attached to the K-member? I don't know. I'm considering, because I mean the front's out. No bracket. And I got it supported underneath the pan. I am going to go do some research, because pulling a couple more bolts out and dropping the whole K-member is not that really all that crazy. It would just be a matter of undoing this guy right there, you know, connection to here, and then there's a bolt right there, you can see, and then there's a bolt you can't see deep in there, and those 2 bolts, so there's 4 bolts in total, will drop my entire thing. Well, I guess I would have to do my sway bar end link as well, remove, and then it would be dropping it to try to get better access to it. But if I can avoid being ridiculous, which that to me sounds ridiculous, to get the rear mount in, I just can't see that being the way to go. So time, effort, energy, blah. But try not to go backwards. Don't strip things. Don't get mad at it. Take your time. Take a break. Do research. See if you can find someone else that, or just the verbiage of like how to get to this bolt, you know, proper. You know, maybe I just don't have the right extension or the right whatnot. It's a 14. Most everything on this car is like 10, 12, 14, 17, 19. And that basically does every single thing in your entire car, in all of the important stuff at least. So right now all I've had to use is 14, 10, and 17 and 19. That's it. So we're going to scratch our head, figure this one out, because there's got to be an easier way to get in there and get that bone. Because essentially, with that out, I mean, you can undo the bracket around it, but not really. If you look down there, there's another bolt that's hidden down there that's almost impossible to undo too. So it's like, well, I can't back that off to undo that to then get better access down at the bottom there. But there's got to be a way to do it. So I'm going to scratch my head, see what this monkey can figure out.